But breaking it down, I like to think of detection and response as two very distinct phases. So there is differences between them, but they interconnect and they're dependent on each other. But detection is about gathering data and sorting through it to find that little piece of information that tells you that something's going on. So it starts by collecting data or alerts from wherever you can get it inside your infrastructure. And this is important because getting data, it's actually increasingly hard. And I'll get back to some of the challenges a little bit later, but getting the right data, getting all the data, and getting a complete picture is kind of a challenge, and it needs to be automated. You need to be able to collect to the data sources that's available and automate that. And the volume and the velocity of that data is significant, and it's very, very hard to kind of sort through that, or I would like to say impossible to sort through that manually. No one really want to do that. And that's where the technology comes in to help us. And so we need to have some sort of technology-driven sorting and triage to figure out what's necessary to even look at. There's a lot of technology out there, and the technology solves that in different ways. Obviously, we do that through the Argus platform. And I'll get back to how those different technologies connect to that platform as well. But the end of the last phase of the detection is to actually look at the results of that sorting. Whenever all the noise is filtered out to the best ability of the technology, we still need someone in the loop to actually have a look at it and do that last final verification. And that verification ends up in the decision that this is a security incident. And I say decision because it's always a decision that you make. And when you make a decision like that, it should trigger something else as well. So that's where the interface between detection and response lies. So if you decide that this is an incident, it should trigger a response action. That action could be several different things, obviously. You could verify this is an actual incident, but my response is I don't care, because it doesn't have the impact that's necessary to trigger a more involved response than that. So that's kind of the dynamic. So when it comes to a verified incident, you've removed all the noise. All you have left is kind of that indicator or that set of indicators that says that this is something that I need to do something about. And that's when you put on the response hat and go into the response phase. And here it's all about gathering data. So you've you filter away a lot of data through the detection, but going into the response is about collecting more data. And that collection is more targeted. So you're not looking for all the noise, you're looking for specific information related to the indicators you already have. And I want to emphasize that because this phase is extremely important. We see many organizations go from a verified incident to executing responses. So they say, well, we have a compromised laptop that we need to deal with that. So we take that laptop offline and we reinstall it. Problem solved. The problem with that is that you don't know what else happened. You triggered your response based on the first indicator you had, and that could lead to some serious problems because what you're doing is that you're actually removing evidence of what the threat actor was doing. So if you want to look at it as pulling on a thread to see what's on the other hand, is you're just cutting that thread and making it impossible to kind of know what really happened. So the first phase of response should always be a further analysis, scoping the incident and looking at the impact it has, because the response you have needs to be also aligned with the impact it has on the organization. So let's, for example, say you have a have an incident related to a web service of yours. So it seems like there might be a web server that's compromised based on the data you have from the detection phase. If that web service is critical for you, let's say you're a web shop and it's Black Friday. If your first instinct is to shut that server down, that would probably not sit well with the business. So making sure that you know the impact both of the incident but also on the potential responses that you have, it's very, very important in the phase. And when you know that, when you're fairly certain that you know the extent of the incident and you know the impact it has on the business, then you should make a plan and prioritize your actions accordingly.